Good morning, sir. Good morning, classmate. So I am Alberto Lutilla, and today I will be reporting lesson 19, which is water and water pollution. So we all know that we are familiar to water. So water is an organic compound with a chemical formula H2O. It is a transparent, tasteless, odorless, and nearly colorless chemical substance, and it is the main constituent of Earth's hydrosphere and the fluids of all known living organisms. So we all know that water is a colorless, chemical, transparent. So lahat naman tayo nakakainom ng tubig, di ba, sa pang-araw-araw natin ng buhay. Then water is a universal solvent. So pandaigdigang pang tunaw. So alam naman natin na kahit walang pagkain basta may tubig tayo, we can survive for how many days. Then next, what is water pollution? So water pollution refers to the contamination of water bodies such as rivers, lakes, oceans, groundwater, and even drinking water sources by various harmful substances or pollutants. So I know we are all familiar to water pollutant as it is one of the most common pollution around the world. So water pollution is contamination of bodies of water. So nakikita naman natin, di ba, kapag contaminated na yung isang water sources, so puno na ng basura, mainly done, or the reason is mainly done by human activities din. Sa pagtatapon natin ng basura, improper waste disposal, and so on. So water pollution is anything that can harm our water sources, even drinking water. So we have two types of water pollution, which is the organic pollution and the chemical pollution. So organic pollution due to microorganisms, bacteria and viruses present in the water generated by excrement, animal and vegetable waste. So yun yung unang type ng water pollution, so organic pollution. So this is naturally pollution happened to the bodies of water. And then the next one is chemical pollution. So chemical pollution is generated by the nitrates and phosphates of pesticides, human and animal drugs, household products, heavy metals, and acid and hydrocarbon used in industry. So pangalawa is the chemical pollution. So ito na yung gawa ng mga tao. So, nabanggit ko kanina, tayo yung isa sa main reason kung bakit nagkakaroon ng mga pollution. So, due to chemical pollution, such as pesticides, human and animal drugs, household. So, that's the two type of water pollution. The organic pollution and the chemical pollution. So, chemical pollution is the most common type of water pollution. So chemical pollution is siya yung pinaka-widespread na pollution kasi nga we are human, so we are the main user and gumagawa ng mga bagay, gumagamit ng mga bagay na nagde-dispose. So tayo talaga yung pinaka source ng mga pollution, which is the chemical that we use. The next one is, so we have several types of chemical water pollution. We have types of water pollution. The first one is the groundwater pollution. Fertilizer and pesticides applied to crops can seep into the ground and contaminate underwaters, rivers, and waterbeds, thus compromising the quality of wells, boreholes, and other places from which groundwater is extracted for human use. So, yung groundwater pollution, so groundwater means nasa ilalim. So, yung mga water sources below the soil. So, fertilizer and pesticides na ina-apply natin, so mostly sa mga farmers na ginagamit natin, di ba? Sa mga taniman or sa mga rice field, we all use fertilizers and pesticides, so that can cause water pollution for groundwater. And then the next one is the microbiological pollution. Microbiological pollution is a naturally occurring form of water contamination. Microorganisms such as bacteria, protozoa, and viruses can infiltrate water supplies, causing disease such as bilharzia and cholera. So yung microbiological pollution naman is naturally occurring or is an organic pollution. So yung kanina, yung groundwater pollution is cause siya ng human activities which is under for chemical pollution. So ito naman, nangyayari siya pag nagkaroon ng naturally ng contamination within the water. So sa tubig mismo, without the help or without the human activities, it occurs naturally. So nakakuha tayo ng mga sakit, diba? Yung mga cholera na yan, yung mga minsan sumasakit yung tiyan, and yeah, it was cause of microbiological water pollution. The next one is the nutrient pollution. An excess of nutrients can upset the delicate imbalance of water-based ecosystems. Fertilizers contain a high concentration of nutrients which, if they contaminate rivers, lakes, and coastal areas, can cause algal blooming that can block out sunlight and inhibit the growth of other organisms. So yung nutrient pollution naman is due to chemical pollution nito, which is done by human activity. So di ba napapansin nyo, we all notice na kapag tapos na yung taniman or after the season of rice planting, we do harvest them. After that, there are times na napapansin natin na medyo may mga damo o na medyo lumaki sila and naging abundant sila sa isang lugar. Caused din ng, mostly sa mga rivers and lakes, cause siya ng mga fertilizers na ginagamit natin. Mostly ng mga farmers. Kasi nga, di ba, wala na yung mga na-harvest na yung mga palay. So, yung mga excess na nutrient na pupunta doon sa mga tanim. Tapos, yun, sila yung lumalago ng sobra and then nabablock nila yung sunlight and yun, sila na yung naging invasive sa area na yun. And then the next is oxygen depletion pollution. Another consequence of algal bloom is their consumption of oxygen supplies. This means that those species which depend upon oxygen to survive are killed off while anaerobic ones thrive. So yun nga, yung oxygen depletion. So pag nagkaroon na ng sobrang algal blooms or yung mga algae, nagkakaroon ng too much consumption of oxygen, tapos yung mga organism na kailangan ng oxygen ay hindi na sila nakakakuha ng sapat na oxygen, kaya namamatay sila. Tapos dumadami yung mga algal o yung mga organisms na masyadong matakaw or nagko-consume ng oxygen. The next is surface water pollution, referring to all water sources above ground, such as rivers, lakes, seas, and oceans. Surface water pollution can occur both naturally, accidentally, and intentionally. So, ito na yung surface water naman is sa ibabaw. So, yung mga lakes, rivers, basta yung mga water bodies na nasa ibabaw lang ng ground or ng soil. So, nagkakaroon ng pollution. It can occur depende kung accidentally, intentionally. So, accidentally, like sinabi ko kanina, yung nagkakaroon ng mga contamination sa water. So, that means it's naturally occurring. And kapag intentionally, ayun, gumagamit tayo ng mga pesticides, ng mga chemicals that can harm water bodies, especially surface water pollution. So, next is how to reduce and treat water pollution. So, these are some steps how to reduce and treat the water pollution. The first one is wastewater treatment. So, dapat nagkakaroon tayo ng tamang tapunan or tanggal ng mga nakabara sa mga water bodies natin. So, tinatanggal natin like naglilinis tayo ng mga water sources natin, ng mga kanal, ng mga sources, basta mga sources ng tubig. So, number one is wastewater treatment. Then, the next one is green agriculture. Globally, agriculture accounts for 70% of water resources. So, it is essential to have climate-friendly crops, efficient irrigation that reduces the needs of water, and the energy-efficient food production. Green agriculture is also crucial to limit the chemical that enters the water. So, pag sinabing green agriculture naman, that means naman, so, paggamit ng mga natural products to help or to do the agriculture. So, mostly mga chemicals, so dapat iniiwasan natin siya kasi nga diba nakaka-pollute siya ng water. And then the next one is air pollution prevention. So, air pollution has a direct impact on water contamination as 25% of human-induced CO2 or carbon dioxide emissions are absorbed by oceans. This pollution causes rapid acidification of our oceans and threatens marine life and corals. Preventing air pollution is the best way to prevent this from happening. So, nagtataka kayo, bakit nakasama yung air pollution prevention? So, syempre, yung mga smoke and mga chemical na naipon sa taas ng air, so nasasama sila sa ulan, and then nagkakaroon sila ng direct. Syempre, saan ba yun bababa? Diba? Sa tubig, sa lupa. And mostly, alam naman natin na 70% of our earth is, 70% of our earth is bodies of water. And only 3% is a fresh water. So yun, babagsak sila doon, so magkakaroon ng chemical interaction, magkakaroon na doon ng mga effect na magkakaroon ng mga contamination, syempre mga chemical yung galing sa hangin. So ayun, isasabi na air pollution prevention. So bawasan nga yung paggamit din ng mga plastic, so gano'n. So, fourth, plastic waste reduction. So, commonly, it is very common for us to this part na, di ba, plastic waste reduction. So, kasi nga, di ba, tayo, kung saan-saan lang tayo nagkakalat, nagtatapon ng mga basura natin. So, the best way is to reduce plastic waste, di ba? Kasi tayo naman mostly ang nagiging dahilan kung bakit mayroong mga pollution, kasi nga pagtapon ng basura ng kung saan-saan lang, especially plastic, kasi nga diba, it took years for them to fully deplete. Then water conservation. Water conservation, without water conservation, we won't go very far. It is central in making sure that we has a better access to clean water. That this means being aware that water is a scarce source, taking care of it accordingly, and managing it responsibly. So yun, water conservation. So gamitin natin yung tubig ng tama, kasi diba, sinabi ko na kanina, almost 70% of our earth structure is bodies of water, and only 3% is fresh water. So paano pa pag na contaminate natin yung 3% na yun? So wala na tayong pagkukunan ng maiinom, which is fresh water. Pwede naman i-convert yung seawater, pero mas iba pa rin yung texture ng fresh water. So pang mga panglinis lang or manligo. Pero yung fresh water talaga is drinking water natin. And then, ways to increase clean water sources. So these are ways to increase the clean water sources. The first one is proper waste disposal. So paulit-ulit na lang to. Proper waste disposal, alam ko familiar tayo dito. Pagtatapon ng mga basura sa tamang lalagyan. Pag plastic, kapag mga biodegradable or nabubulok. And then, dapat hindi natin nilatapon kung saan yung mga basura natin. Kasi nga, di ba, napupunta sila sa bodies of water. And then, the next is avoid using too much chemicals. So tayo, as we go on and continue to develop, mas dumadami rin yung mga chemical na ginagamit natin. Mostly sa mga farmers, diba? Yung mga palay or yung mga rice field natin ngayon, hindi na siya ganun naturally fertilized, kasi nga gumagamit tayo ng mga chemicals. So nasasanay na yung mga palay na umaasa sa artificial fertilizer. So avoid using too much chemical para walang ma-damage na water sources, mostly yung mga surface water. Then the next one is water recycling. So water recycling, so dapat ginagamit natin ng maayos yung tubig. Like pinaglaban natin, so yung pinaglabahan natin, pwede natin siyang gamitin sa CR, pang kuskus, instead na gumamit ka na naman ng another amount of water, di ba? Yung mga pinahugas natin sa pinggan, as long as wala siyang sabon, pwede natin siya ipang-dilig. So that is water recycling. So sources of water protection. So dapat nagkakaroon tayo ng source ng water protection. So meron mga batas na pinasa ginawa para protektahan yung mga water sources natin kasi nga, diba, konti lang yung fresh water natin. And it's not about only fresh water. So, yung mga bodies of water natin, dapat meron silang protection. And then, the next is education and awareness. So, it is very important for us, especially the next generation, para naman maabutan pa nila so magkakaroon ng education and awareness about water conservation or proper use of water. And then the next one is protect and conserve existing water sources. So same na lang din naman siya doon sa source water protection. So protect pa rin ng mga water sources natin, di ba? Especially yung mga fresh water natin. Hindi lang yung fresh water. So lahat ng bodies of water. So dapat pinaprotektahan natin sila kasi nga tayo naman yung gumagamit sa kanila. And then the next one is invest in water infrastructure. So, kung napapansin nyo, may mga times na, or sa mga area nyo, kasi dito sa amin nagkaroon ng water infrastructure, which is yung project ito nila Alvarez, na nagkakaroon ng clean water sources para sa barangay. So, nagkaroon ng investment for water infrastructure. So, di ba, nagkakaroon ng mga water infrastructure. So, nagkaroon kami dito ng tubig, pero hindi pa siya operating kasi hindi pa daw natuturn over. And then the next one is plant trees. So, may mga plant trees kasi may mga puno na nagbibigay ng tubig. Mostly, yung mga malalapad tsaka yung mga mauugat na puno, sila yung mga water giver na mga puno. And then, so, ito pala yung sinasabi ko ng mga source water protection. Meron tayong going back lang sa source water protection. So, ito yung ilan sa mga law or Republic Act. Meron tayong Philippine Clean Water Act of 2004, Republic Act 9725. 9725 promotes clean water protection. And then the next one is Ecological Waste Management Act of 9003 of 2000. So, yun yung mga ilan sa batas na nagpoprotekta ng ating mga water resources. So, that's all. Thank you for watching. I hope you all learned from this. Thank you.